So it says we can factorize quadratic trig equations and then solve each of the two linear trig equations. So you'll see what I mean by that. It says solve for x is between 0 and 2 pi, giving your answers as exact values. Okay, let's start. I want you to pretend that cos x is like a big X or something. You could think of it like that. You know what I mean? So it's like 2x squared plus x. So girls, what could we do to solve that quadratic equation? If it helps you, you could think of it for a moment as 2x squared plus x equals 0. Just think of it like that. What would you do to solve that quadratic? Usually, you would take x out, get 2x plus 1 in there, equals 0. And then if that times that equals 0, then either x equals 0 or 2x plus 1 equals 0. That's how we would do it if it was just a normal quadratic. But we can do the exact same thing using cos x. Okay, so if you don't mind, I might rub all that out. So what can I take out of those two terms? Cos x. So I can take cos x out. What's left inside the brackets though? Yes, is everyone okay with that? Hopefully we all understand. I'll just make a note of this on the side. We all understand that cos squared x is just cos x all squared, or in other words, like cos x times cos x. Okay, so from that, what are my two linear equations that I branch out to? Yes?
2 cos x plus 1.
Beautiful. Is everyone okay so far? So it's just like solving a quadratic equation, but we've just got cos x as the variable. And so we're up to solving each of the two linear trig equations, which is what we got here. So we've got cos x equals 0. From this one, though, let's just do a bit of rearranging. This one here, is that okay? What would you do? Yep, minus 1 both sides. You get... Exactly. Because I can't solve a trig equation anyway until cos x is all by itself. Okay, so here are my two trig equations that I can actually solve. For what angle? What's the smaller angle where cos x is 0? Does anyone remember? Cos is which coordinate, the x or the y? Basically, do you remember? Pi on 2. Remember? Cos is the x, so it's pi on 2. That's cos of pi on 2 is 0. But from here, is x is pi on 2 okay? But the thing is, I'm between 0 and 2 pi. Where's the other time that cos is 0? I almost heard it. 3 pi on 2? Down here, girls. So on the y-axis. Is everyone okay? So girls, when I go around, I hit it there, and I also hit it there, and then I'm done. So my two answers from this one in blue is pi on 2 and 3 pi on 2. But we've only solved one equation. So now I need to go to the other one, here. Just focus on that one. What are some things you might need to do to that? Triangle. What triangle are you going to use? One with one root 3, 2. Okay, so 1 root 3, 2, pi on 6, pi on 3. Cool. I might now draw a new unit circle for this one. It helps me to see it better. Is everyone okay? A, S, T, and C. Okay. What quadrants am I in? S and T. Is everyone okay? Because cos is negative. What's my acute version of the angle? Good. Pi on 3. Let's just check that. Pi on 3, adjacent hypotenuse. Yes. 1 on 2. So I like to put pi on 3 in here. How did you get your first solution? Pi minus pi on 3 because you needed to move backwards. So move forward to pi, then back to pi on 3. Now you might know what that ends up being. And you could just write it. I just recommend doing this first. What's my other one? Plus pi on 3. And is that it? Is that it? Yeah. So I think it's 2 pi on 3 and 4 pi on 3. Now girls, I'm happy for you to leave it like that. With some x values here, some x values here. You could also write a final line stating therefore x is, and like put them maybe somewhat in order. So it's pi on 2, They should be the other way around. You're right. Is everyone okay? Cool. So let's try the next one together. 2 sine squared x plus sine x equals 1. I cannot solve that yet. What do I have to do? Beautiful, we need to make it equal 0. Minus 1, minus 1. So finally, I have 2 sine squared x plus sine x minus 1 equals 0. What are some methods we could use to do this? Factorize it, so PSF. Take a moment. I'd probably go quadratic formula. Do you want to do PSF or quadratic formula? PSF, cool. So what are my two numbers? I need something times something equals... Good, minus 2. And I need something plus something equals positive 1. So what are my numbers? Negative 1 and 2, I think so, yeah. 2, negative 1, 2, negative 1. Do you understand, girls? Because my product is negative, my numbers need to be different sign. Does that make sense? But because my addition is positive, the larger number is positive. Otherwise, we'd end up on the other side of the 0. Do you know what I'm saying? Have a think about that a little bit. Okay, so there's my two numbers. So we do what we normally do. We split the middle term because it's a non-monic quadratic. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that ring a bell? 2 sine squared x plus... So in this case, girls, what would those middle terms be? Yes. Minus sine x. And then we got minus 1 equals 0. Is everyone okay? What can I factorize out of these first two? What's in brackets? Sin x plus 1. Good. What can I actually factorize out of these? Minus 1. Is everyone okay? Minus 1. And I do recommend writing minus 1 instead of just minus. It makes the next step a bit clearer. What's left in my brackets? Sin x plus 1. Good. Girls, is everyone okay? And then what's my final factorized version? So from there, what do I do? Sin x plus 1 equal to 0 and sin x minus 1. Beautiful. Okay, so from here, what do I get?
Sin x equals minus 1 and sin x equals a half.
Oh, beautiful. Is it sin x equals a half? Can you double check that all in your head? I just want to make sure we're all comfortable. There's our two linear equations. So girls, for sin x is negative 1, what's your answer? 3 pi on 2. For the other one, I might draw a triangle. I might draw a unit circle. What's my acute angle for sin x equals a half? Pi on 6, yep. So, what did you get as your answers for the sin x equals a half? Pi on 6 and 5, pi on 6, which you got from doing pi minus pi on 6, which was this motion here. So, you got pi on 6, 5 pi on 6. And if you wanted, you can write it all in one, x equals all 3.